So welcome to, well, this is my first video making a screencast for you guys for Moodle. So, if I sound nervous, it's because I am. It feels really weird talking to myself at my house. But this first video will go through the basic blending process that you can have using the brush tool in Photoshop. So I would like you to be able to follow along with me as I go, so I'll make this pretty slow, but you can stop it at any time and go through it again if you miss anything. So to begin, we go File, New, and I usually like to keep my canvas pretty large size, so 3000 by 2200 is probably a bit of an overkill, but it's good to keep it this big because it means that even if you zoom in, it won't be pixelated. So I'll just leave it at that, 3000 by 2200 pixels. Click OK, and as you can see, it's all right here. The background is locked, but it's not a big deal at the moment because we're not changing the colors. I'm pretty happy with white in the background. So we are going to just add a new layer by clicking this over here. So I'm going to click that. Excuse me. Just add that layer 1 and B for brush, or you can simply go over here. And over here at the top you will see that we have the library where you can choose what type of brush do you want. And for this exercise we're only going to be using two different types of brush, which is the hard edge brush and the soft edge one. So I'll just be calling them hard and soft brush from now on. So we're going to start with the hard brush and normal mode. Don't want to play around with that. Now opacity is very important because obviously anything that's 31% opacity, you can see here, would be different than, for example, 100%, which is this. Now if you see this button over here, this is a system that overrides your brush presets. So by that I mean when you press this, it will become pressure sensitive all on its own, and it has its own measurements to do it. But if you want to be more intuitive and make sure that you can handle the jitter, the dynamics, and all that kind of very specific stuff, you don't want to turn this on, and instead go to here, which will open up your brush preset. And from here you go down. For example, you can change this to different things. So for example, pen tilt will recognize whether you turn your pen tablet or not, and it will draw basically based on how you are tilting. So you need to really spend time to play around with these presets to get exactly the handle that you want, because everybody actually draws very differently and they hold their pens with very different pressure. So it's not one size fits all. You really need to play around. So if you have time at home, I would really recommend that you play around with these things, because it will greatly help create a more natural, as if you're drawing on paper, which is what we always want. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that and cancel it out, because for this exercise I will not press this, and I will not actually go here and have all of this on. I will turn them all off. The reason why is because I want to start with a very flat color with absolutely no pressure control. And I want to go here to open my colors, so you all can do this with me right now. I'm going to choose the darkest color, starting from the bottom left corner. And I'm just going to adjust my brush, and to adjust you can use your bracket on your keyboard. The left bracket is to make it smaller and the right to make it bigger. I'm going to make it about this big. I'm going to just make one big stroke like that, back to the color palette, and go a little bit higher, about here, and make it right side by side. It's going to look really bad to start with, so don't worry if you look at this and go, this is primary art. No, not quite. So go here, you keep getting higher, so you keep getting brighter, and that should be fine. That should be alright. So that is done with flat, hard brush with no opacity and no pressure sensitivity on. Now after that, we are gonna go to our second brush, which is the soft edge. So any of these is fine. And we change the opacity to about, let's say 20, 25%, 26%, doesn't matter. And I'm actually going to turn this on. So at this moment, I'm not gonna worry about the brush presets because you can all find that and fine-tune that all on your own. But I'm just going to go here, and I'm gonna click I, or this, which is our color picker. I'm gonna pick this color, and I'm gonna click B again for brush, and I'm gonna start blending this. So basically, using the color picker, I'm gonna start blending this together so the gradation is smooth and you don't see a harsh line. At the moment, I can still see harsh line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color pick, press I, this gray, and then B to blend this back. So you see what I mean? So if I'm zooming in now, you can see that the color is blending a lot better. So ideally you probably want just slightly darker gray there at the beginning, but that's okay. This is enough. So there you go. That's not too bad. And we're gonna do the same thing with this color. So I, and then B for brush, and I'll just start. And if you think it's not dark enough, then you can adjust the opacity, turn it a bit higher. What we don't want to see is a straight line, so we want them to blend seamlessly, guys. So this, I think I can still see it, straight lines, I don't want that. Go, keep going, excuse me, sorry about that. B, it's a very loud sound. Here, pick this one. I'm starting to think that the opacity is a bit too high. As the color gets lighter, you don't need as much pressure sensitivity on that. So basically the idea is for you to be able to blend this seamlessly, because once you can do this, then you can blend pretty much anything, and you can end up with a nice color strip, which you can then, if you use this and you press E for eraser and adjust the eraser to 100%, that. So come in here, and you can get a really nice gradation. So if you're wondering how I got that box, it's just by doing this marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool, or M. Alright, so that's one part of the exercise done. The next thing that I want you to do is to create a sphere by using, we'll use the flat brush first. So B again, go up here, and we're going to choose a very, very flat brush with no pressure sensitivity and 100% opacity. I'm going to choose quite a dark color, which is somewhere there. So B, and adjust the size, so make it bigger, and make it here. So you can see it's flat. So just like the blending exercise we just did, we are going to add more colors to it. I'm just going to color pick what I have here because I already have a nice gradation. I don't need to go back to the color palette. So somewhere around there is good. I'm going to go to 25% opacity, turn this on, go to the soft brush, enlarge it, and I'll start shading. You can see it's not enough, so I'm going to pick a lighter color. And yep, that's a lot better. So I'm gonna make the light source to come from up here, just there. That which means that this area will be a lot brighter. So I'm going to choose a brighter color, that size brush, and I'm just going to concentrate the lighter part over there, just like that. Now, this is pretty good, but it's not enough, because what happens is I want to place this sphere as if it's sitting on a flat surface, like a table, for example. And because the table is so flat, the light would actually bounce right back up. And there's actually going to be a lighter part down here because of that reflection, which is why sometimes you see the object that's not facing the light can still have a reflected light. That is a result of that light bouncing, which means that the darkest part, or the shadowy part of the sphere, would actually be somewhere 3/4 in the middle here. Okay. So again, we want to blend. We don't want to have harsh lines going anywhere. So we have this metallic, nice metallic look. And I'm just doing this with the soft edge brush, guys, nothing more. Okay, here. Maybe erase it a little bit because it's getting a bit too messy there. But you have that, and finally I'm going to choose my highlight color, which is very white, and I'm going to concentrate again where the light would hit most to intensify this even more. And when we're done, I'm going to add a shadow. But you see what happens if I choose a dark color and I add a shadow? I'm actually covering the front of this sphere, which we don't want. So simply to avoid this, we're just going to add another layer. I'm going to drag it under our main sphere. Sorry guys, something was wrong with my video before. I sort of stopped right before I finished. So anyway, this is our first layer, and we have another layer underneath, which we're going to make a shadow onto. So I'm going to choose one color, and I'll just start making the sphere. Make it to be a bit darker than that, so right where it hits will be very dark. So I want it to be like that. Okay, now you might think that that's actually a bit too dark, and you're right. So I'm going to use the eraser, which again, it acts just like a brush. You can reduce the opacity, you can change the pressure sensitivity, and you can change it to a soft eraser, which would be very handy because it's almost like you're painting with white. I'm going to take off a bit of that darkness, give it a bit more direction. Make the shadow generally look a lot more realistic. And as you can see, there's a lot of lines going outward, wayward here. So we need to probably clean that up. I'm going to use a hard brush. Clean it up a bit. Now, if you don't have a sturdy hand and you're not sure you can do this without going over the line, another way to do this is to choose the circular or elliptical marquee tool, and just do this. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but if you select and then inverse, then it'll select just that area, which means if you press a eraser brush, you can follow that curve and clean it up basically without ruining it. And then you have to do that again, obviously. Control Z. Doesn't work, then you go select, deselect, so it clears out your selection completely. And then do the same thing again. Circular marquee tool, move it a bit, so now you can clean up this area. Select inverse, eraser, and now you're cleaning up that particular area. Select, deselect, and you know the drill, so you can clean this up part up as well. Okay, so that is your first exercise.